Alrighty, hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here to do a review, and yes, this is literally the worst room I have in my apartment. Well, it's not my room, it's actually my roommate's room. This is just his room, and it's the one place that I haven't put up anything on the walls, obviously, as you can see, and it's the one place that just doesn't have that much in here. He's a pretty simple guy. But today we're reviewing something that was sent to me by Neewer. I don't know. This isn't really a paid product placement. They haven't given me any money, but they have sent this to me to review, and I'm going to give my honest review. So, first thing I want to say right off the bat is that this, I don't know if you can see that. It says Pop Filter Shield. This is not a pop filter. This is not a pop. Sure, this will stop plosives, but it will also prevent you from being able to talk into the microphone completely. This is more like an isolation shield or isolation. I don't know. I guess it would be more of an isolation shield. I don't know if it would be shield or booth, or it's not a full booth, and it's a very small setup. It's a very small item, but we are going to be reviewing that. And so I brought it into the most echoey, the most reverberant room in the entire apartment to test that out, because this is more or less the kind of space that it's intended for. Now, it doesn't mean... Now, the common misconception is that you can just take something like this, put it up in front of the microphone, putting nothing on the walls, and your problems are solved. That's not going to be the case. We're going to hear that. But it will make, hopefully, some difference, and that's what we're going to be testing. Now, I also want to say that the version that I got sent, I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or what, came with something that I'm not happy with, because I've already reviewed this microphone what feels like 1,000 times, and it is the Neewer NW-800. If y'all want to see my review of that, that will be down in the description. But yeah, the version that I have, which will probably the one that I have the link for, will be in the description as well. And it just comes with a microphone, which I think the only thing I think is worth it is the shock mount. But I think that comes with its own shock mount too. I'm not positive. I don't remember what I got in the box. It might have just been that, and that might just be my shock mount. Yeah, okay. So, the microphone that we have right now is the Audio-Technica 2020. It's the standard that I use for pretty much most every other review that I do. It has a little small pop filter that works rather well as long as you're not just, blasting P's and B's directly into it. It works relatively well. So obviously this is what it sounds like without the isolation shield, and now we're going to, not really an isolation shield, but now we're going to do a little clap test. I think that's probably good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this and attach that, and then we're going to see what this sounds like with that bad boy. Alrighty, and now we have the reflection shield, isolation shield up, and so this is a difference, 6 inches, about 6 inches away from the pop filter. This is what it sounds like. I'm hearing it in my headphones. It doesn't really sound like there's that much of a difference. And it doesn't really sound like it's cutting out that much noise. Now, I can say this, that I feel like there's a little bit more bassiness. What I mean by that is chest noise. What it sounds like is happening is that a lot of my chest noise, which didn't seem like it was there before, maybe I'm wrong, is being caught by this foam, by this shield. And so it's staying within the area of the microphone. And so it is getting a little bit more boost. rather than being just very sharp and sibilant like it was before. And again, this is not going to be a fix for all of your problems, for all of your noise issues. The way that these things are intended to be used is in combination to other things. You have to put stuff on your wall. You always have to treat the wall. Doesn't matter what microphone you're using or what setup or interface you have, you're always going to have something on the walls, because even if you have this, we're still getting bounce back, we're still getting echo and reflection and reverberance from up and down. There's nothing on the floor, there's nothing on the ceiling. So even if it did cut off one, 3 sides, the back and these 2 sides, you still have the up and down. And there's still echo coming from behind me and leaking over my shoulders into the mic. And it doesn't cover that much of the sides. And again, there's nothing on these walls. So how this is supposed to be used is with a modest amount of shielding on the wall. Now, I think this would be better if I had probably more of a dynamic microphone. A dynamic microphone that has a cardioid pickup pattern, which I may try later if you guys want. Let me know down in the comment section. But you're going to have to put something on the walls. You're going to have to use something to get rid of this echo. Now, you may not have to use as much using this thing. You may not have to use as much treatment as I would in any of my other setups or any of my, or like in my actual studio. You may not have to put up as much, but you will have to address the ceiling, at least put a small carpet somewhere on the floor, and at least dress 2 or 3 of these walls. Maybe not that one, but probably gonna have to put something on these ones and this one. You're gonna have to do something. And I may do that. Now, one of the things that I'm planning on doing is I'm actually going to be setting up, like I said, this is my roommate's room, and I'm planning on setting him up a recording space in this corner. He doesn't really have room in his closet, and this is really much, pretty much the only space that he's going to have to do something. So my goal is actually going to be find a way of using this as part of the setup and addressing some of the walls and see if I can actually put together a decent recording space for doing things like audiobooks and at least a modest amount of voiceover in this corner. And I'm going to be doing a video on that as well. And yes, I am going to be using this thing as part of that setup. Do I like this little device? I do. And I do think it makes a small amount of difference, but not enough by itself that you'll be able to just get this and then go right into doing voiceover. It kind of doesn't make that much of a difference. There are other setups that are more enclosed, and if they had one of these that was more closed off at the top and it was thicker rather than, because this is just, there's just holes in this metal. There's just holes right into this metal, and it just goes into this, like the foam, and the foam's kind of light. I mean, it's about what you'd expect for, studio foam, but it feels a little bit lighter. Like it feels like it compresses a little bit more. So it's not actually going to prevent that much noise from getting out as you would like one of those, what is it? Those eyeballs, IKEA, whatever eyeballs that are intended to like very thick foam and to completely engulf the microphone, which I'm probably going to be testing something like that sometime soon. But this is not going to work by itself. And here's a clap test. Now, you could probably, maybe you'd still have to put something on the walls. This would probably be good for doing singing. Now, the reason I say singing is because if you're putting a music track behind it or, other vocals, then you're probably not going to be able to hear the room reverb as well or as much. So that's probably more what this is intended for. Straight up voiceover as is, no. I think it's built well. I think it's relatively light. I do have to say most of this is plastic, but it's a thicker, heavier plastic. So it doesn't feel like it, you know, if I drop this, I don't feel like it would, unless I dropped it from like way up here and then kind of give it a little bit oomph. I don't feel like this would break. Yes, this does, I think this is steel on the outside. And it comes with a lot of accessories and a lot of attachments. So there's different ways of attaching this to tripods, to mounts, to stands. So it gives you some options. Not a fan of the microphone that it comes with, but it is decently made. But you're going to have to treat the room, period. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below if you'd like to see me review any other things or have any questions about this device or like to see me try it with other microphones or in other setups or whatever. I am going to try to be setting up a recording space for my roommate using this thing, so stay tuned for that. I don't know when that one's going to be up, but yeah, that's going to be coming. So anyway, until next time, peace.